Welcome to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian Community's movers and shakers. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.
That's awesome.
There's always that uncomfortable pause. I don't know how you guys are just like, I don't know how to like get you to go to just pop on.
I'm sorry, I fully endorse the millennial pause. I want to make sure things are working right before I start talking.
Okay, I suppose that's a valid excuse.
Did we at least get to our sponsor of the episode?
We always do in the intro.
It cut off on me.
The intro, finishes up with thank you to Revyz for backing us up.
I didn't hear that part. It just cut off for me.
You don't hear any part.
Probably not. I should pay more attention. Jensen,
Which is
thank
funny
you for
because
coming.
you made it.
Yes. You made it out of Barcelona and back to your house, I'm assuming.
I did. Thank goodness.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. That Barcelona, man. I don't know. It was fun, but
I've heard tell that Alex to go back there every year now.
I mean, if I want to lose weight, I lost 9 pounds, Jensen, that week.
It's because Alex refuses to eat anything except for McDonald's. So,
I was like, pretty sure I gained 10 pounds in Barcelona.
No. Even McDonald's, I couldn't even eat the McDonald's. The moment I bit into it, like it tasted off, and it's missing all the unhealthy things that we put in ours in California and the United States.
I was going to say it's actually probably real meat.
Probably.
What Alex is telling me here is every time I go to California and I get those warnings about the state of California has found that this and that is carcinogen, that's not a warning. That's an advertisement.
That's an enticement for Alex. Apparently, it's like, all right, I want more.
But yeah, in all seriousness, I did lose 9 pounds. So, Jensen, how was a team experience from an Atlassian where the center stage was Rovo and you get to work on said product? What does that perspective look like?
Yeah, it was fun. I was reminiscing on this with Sharif when we were there. It was 2 years ago. I said it wrong when I was there. It was 2 years ago we launched Rovo into GA. So it's just wild to see the changes since then. And I remember it was back, we did it at like a small conference in Amsterdam when we did the GA, and we had announced it at Team Vegas. So that was 2.5 years ago. And it was just like a small little blip. So it's definitely changed a lot. It's now like the center of everything at Atlassian, it seems. So it was cool to see the progress, but it was really fun to see people's reactions and also hear people's challenges and things that they wanted to see. So it was like really great feedback for us as a team.
Yeah. I remember you coming on your first appearance here, and that was a little more than a year ago. And and you laying down the foundation of what Rovo actually was, the three main components, Rovo Search, Rovo Chat, and the Rovo agents. And just how much growth have you seen, or in terms of capabilities since that time that you first talked to us on the Jira Life?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, if we go through each of those sections, right? So you've got search. We've launched over hundreds of connectors now, including like either through 3P connectors or smart links or other things. And so it's just a crazy amount of data we're able to bring in now. So just the quality of things that you're getting has increased. In terms of chat, just the capabilities inside of chat, also just the quality, right? So it's changed a lot in the last 1.5 years. You've also got deep research and web search and all these other tools now. So it's like a lot more robust than it used to be. I think before it was just basically kind of felt like a GPT wrapper, and now it's much more robust and feels like its own thing. So really excited about where chat's gone. And then agents have shifted a lot, right? So I don't even think we were doing automations when we talked 1.5 years ago, right? Like we had just launched that. And that's what we're seeing. Something like 80% of agent usage in terms of invocations is in automations, right? So like the value of being able to automate half of your mundane work that you don't want to deal with, or just to help move and progress things along is huge. And then there's what we've seen internally at Atlassian that's changed is the mindset of working with Rovo. So 2 years ago when we talked, or a year and a half ago, we were still so new that like all of the teams in Atlassian hadn't necessarily bought on as well, right? Like we're like, hey, come work with us. Like it'll be cool, we promise. And that's shifted now where everybody in the company believes in it and we see where it's going, that we're going to get a lot more integrations coming in. So like the Jira team is building really cool things with like agents and workflows and assigning agents to work and all of those things that are sort of doing things in a lot more streamlined way, right? So you don't have to build a robust automation for it to insert itself into a workflow. So there's a lot more natural ways to do it. So we're seeing a ton of work there. And then there's the whole revamp of Studio, right? So that's new as of March of this year or even later. So that's relatively new, and we're working on a new version of Studio that will be even more sort of like AI integrated. So we have a basic natural language to agent creation, but it's basic, right? And it needs to be revamped. So we've got a whole team building what we're calling like solutions architects that help you build those agents, help you build the automations, work with you as you troubleshoot and debug it. And it's really like building you these full solutions rather than just like a singular agent. So really excited about where Studio is going. So yeah, I feel like we're really getting like to the meat of the problems now. We've checked the boxes as we've gone, and now it's like, okay, let's solve the big hefty stuff.
Well, I'll let you know. I got a list that I'll share with you.
Okay. I like this.
I'm walking with Sharif. My favorite moment in Barcelona is I'm walking with Sharif. We ran into him. Rodney and I are coming out of our little Airbnb, and like immediately in front of us is, you know, the star of the show, Sharif. And we walk. It's like a good 20-minute walk from where we were at to the conference. So it was a good walk. And the first thing I tell him, like, Sharif, I don't know about this Rovo thing, man. It ain't working for me. He's like, mate, you're not prompting correctly. And I'm like, clearly that's the problem. But
the prompts doesn't matter, but we're building in tools so that you don't have to be so good at prompting, right? And so ways that we can just, you tell it what you want it to do, and then it helps you write those prompts. So it's coming to help that sort of the hand-holding be. Yeah.
So for me, this actually kind of brings up a kind of an interesting point. During Barcelona, other than what you heard from Alex, right? All of his complaints, and you know, especially about the food and you know the ham. What was some of the feedback that you were starting to hear? What were some of the questions that you were starting to hear from people as you were sitting there or standing in the area and getting all of that feedback from people that had tried Rovo or trying Rovo and were getting stuck? So what was
I think that a lot of the times with Rovo agents specifically is the biggest challenge is defining what you're trying to solve. Because if you go at it like, okay, I'm building an agent today, I'm going to do it, and you don't have a definition of sort of what you're trying to accomplish. So what's the inputs, that those things that you're trying to do, what the agent will do the stuff in the middle, and then what do you want that output to do? So a lot of people were coming to the booth and kind of asking about use cases and how they would build things and what were possible. So they had ideas in their head, but they hadn't necessarily defined each block in the flow chart, right? So like I almost always, if I'm building an agent, start by building like a whiteboard of what tasks I want it to do and how I want it to integrate and what I want the outputs to do. And then I usually just take a screenshot of that and I put it into Rovo and it writes me an agent. But so that's a fun fact. But a lot of the people were coming in, they were asking about how they solve specific use cases. That would be like number one, and how to get started. So it's a lot of times you kind of have that blank slate problem that's like, okay, I know I want to do something, but I don't even know how to get started. So there's that piece. So a lot of it was kind of more consultative. And then a lot of people had additional requests for like data that we would bring in, right? So something that's been coming up a lot is, and you guys probably relate to this, is the ability to have a deeper insight into the configuration of your Atlassian products, right? So like Rovo doesn't have access to tell you how your Jira project is set up and how you can admin it better and like all of those things, right? Like it's not built for the Jira admin yet. So there were a lot of requests for that because a lot of the audience at team are Jira admins, right? That come to that. And so they want to solve those use cases and help them move their work along by not having to answer these repeat questions like, why can't I comment on this ticket? Or like, why can't I transition this status? And they want to push that off to an agent to go solve that for them. But the agent doesn't have access to all of that data. So it's kind of a problem we need to solve.
Right. And I think part of it is also not just the Jira side of it, but as we move closer and closer, and as you know, we'll let Rodney shed the tear about the end of life of data center. You know, the Jira admins are starting to become the Atlassian cloud admins, and so you know, getting help from Rovo would probably also be really beneficial, because now they're in this, you know, all right, I know how to do this on when it was, you know, self-contained on my own server or cluster. How do I do this on the administration hub? Right.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a lot of tools. Oh, go ahead.
One thing that you touched upon is as far as the feedback that you were getting at Team 25 Europe was kind of how I envision what most people jump into vibe coding for, right? Build me an app, right? And then you know, and you know, any sort of you know, GPT tool is just going to be like, okay, I'll see what I can do, and it's going to come out wrong. But as you're saying, you actually have to lay in the major pieces that you want the app to do, or you want the agent to do, and give it some boundaries, right?
Yeah, it can't read your mind, right? So like it definitely helps that you give it
Not yet, at least.
It needs. Yeah. And I don't know if I want it to be able to read my mind.
I don't know. If you guys made some bold statements of Rovo is everywhere, I would assume it's in my mind. Everywhere includes my mind.
Have you ever like just side note to go off topic?
This whole show is a side note off topic.
So like I use ChatGPT on my phone for my personal life, mostly to like manage like my garden and my ducks and my chickens, and just like how I should take care of them and all this kind of stuff. Have you ever asked ChatGPT, now that it has memory, like what it knows about you or what your ideal job would be based on?
I haven't asked it for the ideal job, but I definitely ask it whenever somebody asks me for like, hey, give us a brief bio for something event I'm gonna do. I'm like, Jippity, give me a bio to give these people, and its accuracy of how it knows me is pretty spot on.
Yeah, and with the memory, and so Rovo Chat has memory now too. You could do it with that, but it's funnier with ChatGPT because, like Rovo, I'm talking about work, but ChatGPT, I'm always like, how long do my eggs have to incubate? Can I move them over? Do I turn them on day 21? So just,
I don't know. You say work, but one of the things that I'm most excited for, and I told this to Sharif on our 20-minute walk, is I'm looking forward to the moment where I can open up a Jira ticket that is like on schedule, order Domino's every Friday night, like at 7 p.m. for dinner, and just have MCPs and go out there and do the AI stuff and just have I just want a pizza to show up at my door automatically through Rovo. That's the goal.
I mean, we're pretty close to that. So we're working on something. This is probably a leak. I shouldn't say this, but
wait. Let's not get you fired. So we're going to go back to the blink once for yes and blink twice for no.
No, I think I can say it. We're working on something called like browser use, where so one thing is you could do MCP. I don't know if Domino's has an MCP, so it might.
It's only a matter of time, right?
Matter of time. Before, I mean, Domino's is pretty technically advanced,
yeah.
Right? So the other thing we're doing is like being able to have Rovo control your browser. So you could tell Rovo, every Friday, I want you to open a new tab, go to Domino's.com, order me a pepperoni pizza, make sure the crust is this, and it'll like be able to go and click the box for you and order it. Do that every Friday.
You just opened up my eyes. You know, you wonder why you know, Atlassian spent, you know, so much for the browser company, and now it's starting to come into focus.
You're like, oh, I can order pizza.
Yeah. I can order. Yeah, I mean that's the Mike. I guarantee you, Mike was like, "How do we make ordering pizza more effective, people? Let's spend $1 billion
order pizza, but we could also do QA automatically using that. Because how many browser-based things are impossible for QA?
No, the headline's got to be. The headline is Australian billionaire spends $1 billion to order pizza from his browser. That's the headline
from the browser that he bought.
from the browser he bought. Oh man, let's definitely not get Jensen fired. But on a very similar topic, Jensen, if you can blink once for yes, twice for no. I was on a call yesterday with one of your customers, a very prestigious customer, and they wanted to know, is Rovo, because I don't know the answer, but it might have already been announced. I kind of think I know the answer. Will Rovo be able to read like a screenshot that I take on my desktop and be able to like read the context of the text on the screenshot?
It can do that today. That's what
I know. I thought you announced it, but I just wasn't sure, and
Yeah.
I was like,
I-
I think it
They
might.
showed that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what
and
I
you can
thought, but they could do that, right? I
Yeah.
figured I'd go
So,
straight
like,
to
if you
the horse's
send a
mouth.
picture, yeah, like you send a picture, maybe not this won't work, but like send a picture of a bomb and you'd be like, which cords should I cut? You know, and it can analyze the photo too.
I love the example you would pick, the one that would probably get us banned on YouTube. Great.
Now we're on dismantling them, not creating them.
I do have a how to dismantle a bomb guidebook somewhere where I could feed that entire PDF. Is
There you
Robo
go.
at that Jippity level where you can feed a PDF to it and say like, read this thing and like give me some feedback or give me some?
Yeah, you can do that.
So I should be able to take then a requirements document PDF,
Mhm.
right? That's been meticulously written by some team and go make all the Jira work items from this.
Yeah, no, you 100% can do that. It can do bulk create on Jira issues. It'll fill out the descriptions and the summaries and titles and everything. And then you can say, okay, now that you've done that, can you schedule a kickoff call for us? And it can search, if you tell it who, it'll search the availability of everybody you listed. And then it will find the best slot for you guys to meet.
And then record the meeting and then transcribe it to Confluence.
And then, yeah, have your Loom note.
And then follow up with new work items
And then
with
the
the
whole
action
thing
items.
goes. Yeah.
It's like,
All the action items, you don't ever even have to meet anymore.
so at
You
what
just
point do
show
we
up.
just not need humans in the loop anymore? We just like make a PDF and magical things will happen in a spiral.
And we mustn't forget the most important part. It will also order the pizza for the meeting.
Well, we got to celebrate the launch, right? Somebody's got to order that. That's my action
mean,
item.
It used to be that, what was it? Amazon's famously known for you're not allowed to have a team greater than like a 2 pizza team or whatever.
Yeah,
but now you're just gonna buy pizza just to watch Rovo do the work. You're just eating pizza.
I eat a whole pizza. Who's eating like quarters of pizzas?
Uh,
I haven't been
Amazon-
able to eat a
Amazonian?
whole pizza since I was like 18. So
yeah, I ate a whole pizza one time in my life, and that was an instant regret.
That was
I'll tell you the last time I
my
did it,
misspent
a whole
youth.
pizza. I guess
Yeah.
Maybe pizzas in New Zealand are a little different than the ones in California.
Well, the pizza in New Zealand isn't very good. So, yeah, it depends.
All right, so we can read PDFs, we can read screenshots, we can go and do a lot of automations. What's the thing that surprises you the most of what Rovo can do that is publicly known? Like, what's the craziest thing you've seen a demo of it do? Something crazy that you're like, no way.
Let me think.
I love when I stomp the stomper.
Well, I think it's tough because it really depends on what you're trying to solve, right? So like, it depends on what wowed you that day. A lot of my examples are things that we're using because I experienced the value of it. So I've seen customers build some pretty cool stuff. A lot of companies are using it for like the automation of just like triaging and work items and like getting the meat of things and issues and all that jazz. But I was working on an agent yesterday with my coworker Scott, and we're looking at taking, and it actually was really easy to build. It took us like 15 minutes. Taking like that Loom note taker, so that Loom transcript, and then it's basically what we just talked about, but pulling all of the action items. And the Loom note taker will do this, but I want to do it like with my own format and my own information and sort of not use that, but use something that's a little different. And I have it, and I use it a lot for like by leads meetings. So when I meet with my engineering team and we talk about like what bugs are still tracking, what's in progress, we say like, hey, what's the status with like this feature or blah, 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 blah. So we talk through all of those. And then we go and we talk about any risks or blockers. And so like things that we're not going to ship or anything we need to keep track of. We talk about any follow-ups we need. So we're like, hey, we need to have a deep dive on XYZ feature with blah and blah. And it goes through that. And then we talk about like any action items and next steps. So then what happens is this agent then takes that transcript that first section, it goes and it finds each of those tickets in Jira and it updates the statuses. So if we said like, oh, that ticket's done, it'll go and move it to done, because half the time it's always like left in review and I never know if it's done, because like people put it in review and then it just sits there. So anyways, it marks them as done.
Jira for the last 20 years.
Yeah, or like canceled or whatever it may be. So it goes and it does those automatically. It opens up any new tickets I need. For the risks, it creates new risk tickets in Jira as well. And the follow-ups, it goes and it schedules those, like I talked about with the calendar scheduling skills that agents have. And then it goes and it creates the agenda for next week and then prepares it. So then it goes and it writes next week's agenda so that we don't forget about the stuff we talked about. And then it pings in Slack 24 hours before that meeting. That's like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. Do you need to update anything before we get on the call? So it kind of just like removes the grossness. Like I feel like before a meeting, you got an hour of prep.
Right.
After a meeting, you got to deal with it for an hour. There's just like, an hour meeting is actually 3 hours of your time. And I don't know if your calendar's like mine. Like I don't have an hour on each side of meetings. I got other meetings. So it's like, you have no time to do the things to actually get the benefits of the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever have you ever driven in a full self-driving vehicle?
Yes. Well, I think full one. You mean like when you're in the back of the what do they call them? Waymo?
No, like you
Waymo?
driving. Like you driving though, and the car.
Oh yeah.
Like you behind
like
the steering wheel, but the car doing it
Tesla?
for you.
Yeah.
So I'm always very cautious and worried about that, because when I'm driving and I'm in control, which is what we are usually in when you're scheduling your own meetings and coordinating, you're very alert of your surroundings and everything around you. But don't you think that would cause bad behavior in the long term from employees around the world when you just become over dependent on AI to just figure out all the minutiae for you? Like, isn't that a scary thing?
A little bit. I think it depends. I think that there's some things where it's like, so like for this use case I talked about, I don't have to automate it. Like I could automate it to do all those things, or I just prompt it. So like after the meeting, I go through, because I want to
You have a
actually
little
remember.
bit more control.
Yeah, like
Well,
I want to know what the action items were, or else I forgot. It's like I kind of want to spend 5 minutes on it. I don't want to spend 0 minutes. I don't want to spend an hour, but I want to spend 5 minutes. And it'll go and I'll be like, yep, that sounds good. That sounds good. And it's kind of like I go through a checklist from the agent and I say like, cool, go and publish. You got it. But it does the busy, I don't have to go find it and update the status. I just tell it, go find it. And then I say, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, because the reason I'm bringing up the Tesla is like, I'm scared that if I become dependent on the car driving itself, that I'm no longer paying attention to the road. So when something happens that I have to react, my reaction is going to be decreased significantly because I just wasn't paying attention anymore. So I feel like what happens, because in order for what the scenario you just described, you really got to trust Rovo to not make the mistakes.
That's true. And I think like in terms of your point about relying too much is like I use Rovo a lot to like regurgitate information in different formats. So I'll go and I've written something internally and I go and I ask Rovo to write it for like community, or I ask it. So like most of my community blogs are written by an agent. Sorry. But that's how I can write them all fast. So somebody the other day was like, you should remove those M dashes. And I was like, I'm just selling the product, you guys. So there's things like that where it's like really good for just mundane, like regurgitate. And then I'll use it to help me write like product specs. So like things that I want us to build. But I do realize that like I rely on it heavily for writing writing information. And I think it's really helpful because it gets what I want to say out really well. And then I go and I edit and I change it. But I do think you lose when you're writing things down yourself. A lot of times things pop up that you wouldn't necessarily have thought about the first iteration. And so I do think you lose a little bit of that like mental loop in your head where you're like, how can I write this well? Is that actually what I meant to say? And you kind of like toy back and forth with yourself. And so I think you lose that a little bit. So I think there's a middle ground.
Unless you vibe right.
Yeah, you can vibe right. But I still think like if you can write a document in 5 minutes, sometimes you need to think about it for an hour, So that's one challenge.
So I want to do a little bit of a pivot. So these two guys, when they were at Barcelona, and Mike Cannon-Brookes said the words that Rovo knows everything, works everywhere, and helps everyone. They went
don't think those
into
were his words,
instant
but sure.
Skynet Terminator mode, and we must find John Connor. We must keep him safe.
I think my notes literally had Rovo, Big Brother ?
Something like that. I want to hear from you. What do you think MCB meant when he said that Rovo knows everything, works everywhere, and helps everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I could see why it would come across Skynetty, but that's not what he meant. So so let's just break down each one. So like Rovo is everywhere. We have the mobile app, we have the desktop app launching, where we got the browser, we're inside of all of your
Jira,
products.
Connie, Loom.
Yeah, we got the Chrome extension, so you can be outside of Atlassian products. So there's like, okay, it's everywhere, right? So I can go and I can get it on my phone. The next one is Rovo knows everything, and knows everything is okay, cool. It has access to 200 connectors and it can pull data in. It has the Chrome extension that can read third-party web pages. It has memory now. So if you go and talk to chat, it remembers how you like your formatting and like how you like your voice and tone and things like that. What was the third one? Knows everything.
Helps everyone.
Helps everyone. Wow.
Yeah.
That one's less
That's a
scary.
given.
I think it'd be scary if it was like Rovo is always listening. You know? And I'd be like,
that was in the unedited version before they cut it.
That was before PR team got a hold of the top.
yeah.
You know, so Jensen, I did not have the same reaction that Bob and Rodney here had, because I don't want to throw you all under the bus, but
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you
given
didn't.
my experience of how Rovo works, I was like, we're still 10 years out.
Yeah, this is somebody who uses Jippity as a verb, so
Yeah, very much. Hey, I believe if we're talking about Jippity taking over the world, I'd be very concerned. But Rovo, we're still 10 years out. But now I'm pulling a total Tony Stark moment.
I'm calling it
Sorry?
Jippity from now. I like Jippity.
I know it's the
Jippity?
best one. I'm starting to trend.
I really like it. That's how I'm going to call it from now on too.
It's great.
That's just
I
Jippity.
have Jippity. Yeah, that's better.
I was gonna tell you again, back to what their conversation with both Sharif and you, and I went and said, Jensen, this Rovo thing ain't working for me, and you're like, show it to me. So this week I was making a video because Atlassian is a champion. They're like, hey, it's end of the year. How do you use the Atlassian tools for your out of office? And there's an example that they had in a blog post on how you can use Rovo to help you. Who's not going on vacation, to kind of help out while your coworkers are out on vacation, right? And so I'm just following along and I'm typing up and I'm recording, and I tell Rovo, this person's out. What should I do next? And Rovo like went on a tangent, and I'm like, I'm leaving it, and I'm tagging Jensen in this video because you're like, show me the proof. I'm like, I got it.
Not proof. I want to fix all your problems.
No.
Okay. So you went into chat and you said Rodney's out of town. What can I do?
Yeah, what should I do next? And I set it up, right? I went into the ticket and I made a Loom video that I embedded in there. I had an out of office document that basically gave me some instructions for what you should do. And so I went and told them, like, so to some credit, Rovo went out and found the Confluence document and said, here's the 14 steps you should do. I'm like, great. Is there a Loom video attached to that video? And it's like, no. I'm like, yes, it is. Because I wanted to, it's supposed to tell me what's in the Loom video, no?
Was it attached? Okay, so Loom's kind of a hard one. So was it attached as an attachment or was it in the description?
I went to the plus in the Jira work item and then record video and recorded it from there.
Okay. Don't hate me, but we don't read attachments.
No.
So you need to.
I
know it's being
read
built
the fine
right
print.
now. It's being built right now.
What fine print? What part of everywhere, everyone, always, everywhere?
There's an asterisk that says like in 4 months.
This is why I wasn't scared. This is why I didn't have my whole Terminator moment freak out.
You
Because
can
I'm like,
keep all your attachments.
Attach everything. Did you know that in Gemini? I don't know if they've ruled this out, but you know how when you go to Google, you type in a question in Google, but if you're using you know how it comes back with the Gemini result and then your Google search results are at the bottom? Well, if you put in a bad word into your search, it'll kill the Gemini part and just bring you the Google search. So people have found a workaround where you just cuss out your Google search and you're going to get, old school Google results. So is there a way to not? But you guys are Australian, so there's probably like a series of bad words you can put in combination to get like super Rovo.
We have an acceptable use policy filter, so you can't ask it to do things that you shouldn't be asking it. It won't respond. It'll say sorry.
I'm just telling you, you guys should have
if
super
you
Rovo
just
enabled.
put an obscenity in with your query,
Let me try.
how will it react?
Yeah, you guys are gonna get me fired.
I mean, we should just ask Rovo the Atlassian core values and see if it regurgitates the F word.
Okay, what do I? Oh, okay. But we put little. Oh, maybe we. Okay, I'll ask it. So what am I asking it first?
I don't know.
But I think this needs to be a feature you guys put in there. This would be so true to Atlassian's core values if there was a super Rovo cuss word activation.
Did you see Sharif's post yesterday that was like talking about Slack, and he built a Slack bot that only responds in Australian, and you can't understand anything that it says.
No, but I had seen something about Anu's like Rovo has personalization in it, so you can make it talk like an Atlassian.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it responded, and it's don't #! Exclamation point. So like, like how we do it, we don't actually write the F
you
word.
don't actually write,
Yeah.
don't F-bomb the customer.
Let me see if it gets mad at me saying the F word. It's typing. This is funny. So I said, is one of it, I said, what are the core values? And it listed the core values for me. And it did it like with the hashes, And then I said, is one of them don't F the customer, but I wrote the full F word. And then it responded saying it's phrased as don't hash the customer or don't asterisk the customer. And it won't say.
It won't say it. That's un-Australian of it, Rovo.
I mean, Rovo. Rovo's 2 years old. I mean, at 2 years old, you're just repeating every single cuss word without knowing what it means. So,
Okay. I got it. I got it to say the F word. I win.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, this is going to be on the bug meeting next Monday.
I think it's fine.
It's part of your culture.
Part of our culture. The filters for like keeping people from building bombs.
Yeah. Mike came onto our podcast right back in April, and he's like, "Am I allowed to cuss on this?" I'm like, "We're like whatever you want, Mike. This is your show." But in the spirit of this question from Chris here, I love to tell this story. It's one of my favorite stories. But when Mike came to our interview back in April, Mike walks in and he's like, "So you're the one that doesn't like my new UI." So I can already imagine him coming into Anaheim going like, "So you're the one that hates Rovo." Full disclosure, I don't hate. I don't hate Rovo. I just wish Rovo worked.
You wish it worked better.
It worked mostly okay when I tried it this week. Okay. You know what you guys completely broke though? The ability to make automation rules, like Atlassian Intelligence with your whole rebranding. I used to love being able to use Atlassian Intelligence and tell it, "Hey, I need an automation rule that does XYZ." And now it just pipes me straight into build an agent. And I'm like, I don't want to build an agent. I want to build an automation rule.
It does?
It was not working the way Atlassian Intelligence used to work like a week ago on my Jira. Okay, it was forcing me to Rovo was forcing me down a path that I did not want to go down. Which is a great question. So what happens, right? So we're super users. We nerd out over this stuff, right? We love Rovo. I would assume 99% of your customers have no idea. They're still trying to figure out what Rovo stands for. So what happens with them when Rovo doesn't behave the way they want Rovo to behave?
Well, typically we find most people create community posts or support tickets, and then we work through them that way. But it is tough because it does require some handholding, right, to really get started, and you need the champions internally to push it. So we need a lot more resources internally that either like posts or tools in the product that help you build the things, right? So that's where we're going with Studio, is a lot more handholding in the product to build the things. But we also need to provide more tools like in community. I don't know if you guys have seen in the community posts, one of the engineers on my team, his name's Long. He's been writing posts on like how to debug your agents, how to write good triggers, like all of these things. So he's like kind of doing a series of tools to help you build these things. But
some people would call that God's work.
He is like, for me, he's like my God engineer.
Actually, just as a little bit of a preview, Long is actually going to be a guest next month for the Jira Life. So
I gotta get even more list of things that Rovo doesn't do.
But then he'll go fix them all.
You know what, Jensen? One day Rovo's gonna do everything and end world hunger, and I'm gonna be Rovo's biggest cheerleader. I promise you that.
No, that's not going to happen. He's still going to.
He's still going to find something.
Yeah, he's still going to poo-poo it. I mean, Rovo could find the cure for cancer, and Alex would be like,
wrong cancer. Only one cancer.
Exactly.
Only the one. Yeah,
only that one. I'm very optimistic about Rovo, but I think going back to my little last statement, right? I think Jira is very trivial or very black and white, right? You put things in fields, you transition things. Like the user interaction with Jira is very transactional. But Rovo, I actually, one of my tests that I did in this video was I asked Rovo the same thing twice, expecting the same result, but I didn't get the same result. And so that's kind of weird, because when you transition a work item from one status to another, it's going to transition to that same status every time. But again, I'm thinking just end users, right? Folks that are like dragging their feet out of their bed every day to, get to work, to do this job that they absolutely hate doing, clocking in 8 hours a day. And now they got to come and use Rovo. And they're like, what the heck? That's what I'm worried for.
So was the issue you ran into, you asked it to transition a ticket and it did it differently?
No. I asked it the whole Rodney's on vacation, what should I do? And it gave me one answer one time. And then I came back again after I updated the ticket, right? Yeah. And I said, Rodney's on vacation, what should I literally same prompt, but it gave me two very drastic results each time. One time it worked better than the second.
But you changed the ticket? But you changed
I went and updated to make sure Rovo had that context, not knowing that attachments weren't a thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole video. I'll make sure you see it.
Yeah. If you use GPT, it gives you different responses too. It's just like it's LLMs or LLMs, right?
Absolutely. So, but when I'm in GPT, my hat of GPT's expectations there. When I'm in Jira, I'm expecting Jira behavior with you call the best, a wrapper.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm expecting the same polish of Jira, and I think this is one of the things that us as champions can definitely help out with a lot, because I do believe in the vision you guys have with this tool, especially once I can order my Domino's pizza.
Once you can do Domino's, you're set.
Yeah, once you guys get to that level, then I'm like, all right, mic drop.
Okay, so that's when we win. We win Alex over when you can order Domino's, and then he'll love Rovo.
Yeah, finding the cure for cancer, nope, not good enough. Nope. Ending world hunger, not good enough, unless it's through being able to order Domino's pizza. So
Okay, this is really good. I'm gonna make it my OKR this quarter.
Oh,
and if I hit ordering Domino's, then we'll win 1.0.
1.0.
This is going to be like a commercial come early spring, right before teen. On YouTube, someone's demonstrating it, ordering pizza through Rovo.
No, I
like Alex.
Mike's gonna be on stage with guess what Rovo can do.
That's what Rovo can do. This is like, I swear, when we launch browser use, like the thing I was talking about, this is the demo we will do for it. I swear, and this is how we will show it. I
can imagine it as Mike pulling a prank and ordering 30 pizzas to Alex's house, and they're all cauliflower crust. So
have you seen that episode of Silicon Valley,
Jensen?
Or just delivery guys with pizza show up mid keynote, right as he hits that point of the talk.
No, I just gotta walk in with the box of Domino's pizza already and go, Mike, I got my pizza.
Well, do you guys remember at Team in Anaheim how we had Domino's delivery at Bash?
Did we? Oh yeah. For
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
champions.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
they're,
that.
they're
That
like
was
one
the
of our
best
top.
move.
Yeah, they're great. And so maybe we
Yeah.
can do something with them. Okay, this is a great idea.
You
I'm
got
very
6
excited.
7 months to get this to happen.
I got it. I'm on it. Okay.
Okay,
You're
I'm
the
gonna
ultimate
take this in
anti-joker.
a little bit of a serious bent, just for the next couple minutes or so. One of the features that I don't think got as much attention from Team 25 Europe was the announcement within Rovo that Atlassian was going to use their own hosted LLMs. Can you elaborate? Is there a way that you can elaborate on
Look at
that?
Bob bringing it back to business. We're having fun here, Bob.
Well,
I can talk like high level about it. It's not really my expertise.
okay, we'll
yeah,
take it.
But we have like to run Rovo chat and agents and everything, we use a collection of models. Rovo agents right now are run on GPT 4.1. That not always, right? Like we might swap that out or change it. Potentially give you the option to swap through different models. So maybe you want to run 5 or 5 nano for certain use cases. You can swap it out.
Or Claude or Mistral
yeah.
or Gemini.
Exactly. And then Rovo chat on the back end uses a mix of different models. So some of them are homegrown, some of them are like Mixtral and different GPTs. So depending on the use case that gets triggered, it chooses the right model for that, right? So asking something to summarize a page needs a different model than running deep research, right? So like we swap through them. I know that there's an enterprise feature that we are working on or have shipped, which allows you to select a model that takes over that. It's more of a, if you have crazy requirements, the quality changes. I wouldn't do it unless I had to type of thing, But you can swap that out to, I think it's Atlassian hosted LLMs. But I honestly can't speak about it that well, so maybe I'm not the right person to answer this question.
That's okay. I'm also wondering if this is may also be in response to having more acceptance of Rovo when you're in a government cloud or isolated cloud situation.
Yeah, so we're seeing like the people who are wanting to sign up for these are those really restricted companies, right? Where they have to be very particular about data residency and what models they have access to, and it doesn't ever leave and all sorts of jazz. So that's where we see that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Alex, back to you.
I was going to
Rodney,
ask
you can stay quiet.
I was going to say, what next boring question are you going to ask our lovely guest?
I've got one then. If
Alex
just wants to take a break. So one thing I want to talk about that I don't think we've talked about is Rovo being able to build Forge apps. Because this was like the big thing that's talked about.
I can talk about that. Yeah, so that's coming with the new studio. So we have a studio EAP launching in like 2 weeks. There's just like 10 customers in it. It's very small. I can probably get you guys access if you ping me.
You don't want to give me access to any EAPs, Jensen.
Okay, fine. I won't give you access. Never mind. Revoked.
Yeah.
You give the rest of us access. Just leave Alex off it.
Yeah, if you see an Alex at the JiraLife.com, you can go ahead and hit
thanks for totally giving everybody my email, Bob.
I'm just gonna like disconnect Rovo.
The email that you never read? Sure.
Then he'll miss it and then he'll love it.
Yeah, I have an active tab with my email now. Go ahead, Jensen. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with the studio that's coming, we'll have app building, Forge app building. So it's like you can vibe code a Forge app. It works really well. It's really cool. So it builds the whole manifest file and it builds the whole thing. It'll help you deploy it. And so the whole idea with the new studio is you should be able to build any of these apps. So you can build an agent, an automation, a Forge app. So agents, automations, apps. And you can do those from scratch and you can build multiple things. So if I go in and I say, hey, I'm really looking to automate this process I have. I need somebody to come in and analyze some stuff. And I need to update these fields. I need to do these things. It'll be like, hey, I noticed that you need an agent and you need an automation. I've created plans for both. Like go ahead and go through these steps and create them. Or it might recommend that you build an app, or maybe you want to do all three and you've built this solution. And then with the launch of skills, will also allow you to, not yet, but in time, create your own custom skills that you can then put inside of chat and different agents, and you can kind of create your own sort of, they're kind of like, some of them can be kind of micro agents, right? So like, it's just like a section of an agent that you've saved that then can be used in multiple places. So Studio will have apps, agents, automations, skills.
Okay, I'm gonna ask another boring question. As you were talking about the new Studio, it really made me think about Rovo Dev and how much of that is really kind of blurring the lines, because I may or may not be interested in forking out my credit card for Rovo Dev. So
Rovo Dev's really cool. People are doing some really cool things with it. It's been pushing a lot of people's work forward. I'm not in the weeds in Rovo Dev. It's a different org than us. It's run by like our Rovo Dev team. So I can always pull in the right people to answer better questions. But people are seeing a lot of great results from it, and it's really advanced and cool, and the things that it can do is powerful.
I'm excited for that feature too. I feel like I bashed on Rovo a lot, but I'll tell you my favorite feature and see what you think of it, Jensen. My favorite one, the favorite announcement was the ability to have, as you're creating your agent, the ability to like pause the building of it. Like you'll prompt it, but then you can kind of see that canvas, I think is what you guys called it officially, and like kind of debug in there. That was like super interesting to me. And then being able to test it after debugging without actually deploying it, like that was really cool. So any insight there on how that came to be or how that works? Or
yeah, do you want me to tell you what we're working on right now and things that are coming soon?
Whatever. Again, blink once for yes and two for no, so you don't get fired.
No, I'm an open book. I'm an open book. So to what you just said, we're currently working on draft mode and versions. So you can create your agent, you can just have it in draft, you can test it in draft, and then you don't have to publish it yet until you're ready. And then once it's published, it'll have different versions. So you can roll back and you can see changes and assess quality and stuff. The other thing we're building offline quality evals. So if you have an agent and you have 30 questions you want to test on it, you can just upload those questions and it will roll them and give you the responses in like a table. So you don't have to manually test these things anymore. And then you can test it on different versions. So you can be like, okay, test those questions on version 1, test them on version 6. Let's compare the results. So quality evals, versions. We're building an update to so I don't know if you saw, but we've renamed actions in the agents directory to skills, but we're going to allow you to, there's a new skills directory. It's really nice. There's now MCPs. So we have an MCP EAP. It'll go GA soon. So you can add MCPs. But we're allowing you now, not yet, but we're working on allowing you to configure the skills. So let's say you added create work item and you said, well, in this scenario with this agent, I want to always create issues in this project with this request type and work this item. Priority. This label, you know what I mean? This label, but I want the LLM.
Yeah. Feel free to slap Alex.
Ruining my train of thought. Now I'm going to miss like 10 features. But you can have the LLM decide what you can be like. Okay, I want LLM to fill out these fields. So that stuff's happening. One of the things that we know is an issue is finding agents, right? So like you want to go browsing them, trying to decide what you want, like. At Atlassian, we have 9,000 custom-made agents. So if you think your sprawl is a problem, come join ours.
You guys already figured it out.
I think at least 1,000 are agents I created that are called test. So I can't even use my favorites. I can't use mine's a mess. I am like the epitome of sprawl problems. But we're building in a bunch of tools to help manage this and improve the experience for both end users and admins. So we're going to build.
That's what I'm going to ask you, because you kept saying you and you. I'm like, who is the you in your scenario? Yeah. Who are you guys targeting these agents at?
Yeah, so it's different, right? Like our two main targets are admins and makers, and then there's like the downstream effective users. So for a maker is like a builder, like a builder.
Oh, like an Atlassian Builder Summit thing that I.
Yeah, like a builder. Yeah. So let's say, for example. So one of the features we're launching is who can use this agent right? So if I created an agent, it's only relevant for my team. Only my team needs to see it in the directory. Alex doesn't need to see it. Rodney doesn't need to see it. It's irrelevant to them. So we're going to make it so that you can hide irrelevant agents to other users. So you can select, hey, this agent's only available to me, to everyone, or to specific people. So that will help. We're redoing the agent browse modal. So when you're searching for things, there's going to be categories. We're adding verified. So an admin can go in and verify company verified agents and say, hey, these 5 are good. We've approved Atlassian, or like not Atlassian, but like my company likes them. And those will show up in their own category and we'll have labels and etc. And then for the admin, like the studio admin, we're going to build dashboards that show you overall agent usage, trending usage, hot agents, dead agents, orphaned agents, understanding skill usage and automations. And so you can go in and you can say, okay, how do I clean this up? Like, how do I even start? How can I delete the not used ones? Let me make this a much better experience. So we're building those tools in too.
From a pricing perspective, are you guys going to lean more towards, if you go over your allocated usage, you just get a bigger bill? Or are you going to do what automation rules do today, is that once you hit your usage, you're cut off until the next month? Please say the former, not the latter. Although either both of them are bad.
I would have to ask, do you know Danielle? Have you met Danielle Dannenberg? She's working
Bob's
on
our Atlassian whisper.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know exactly. I think he'll be in the middle, right? Like we would probably give you warnings and then allow you to purchase more credits, would be my assumption.
Is Danielle on the Rovo dev team?
No.
Okay.
Because
this seems to be a Rovo dev question as far as like credits and what happens if you run out of credits.
Yeah, because Rovo dev's a little ahead of us, right? So like Rovo general doesn't have any limits really that we enforce. We have some we've written down.
We've been down this road before with automation.
They will be limits at some point. I just don't know the exact way that we're going to pull.
Whoever you're talking to who has influence, do not do what you guys do with automation rules, because that handicaps every team. Like, why in the world would you cut me off? And like, because you're gonna build an over reliance and dependency until like November 28th, when you got to wait 2 days to your something to reset. You'll piss off everybody real quick. I think you'll piss off people quicker that way than if you send them $1 million bill because you overused it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Okay, I'll get that feedback.
That
sounds a lot closer to what we would do. It makes more sense. Helps us.
While you're there, though, see if you can get the automation billing updated, because that one sucks.
I hate this business model, but I do see something like what the cable companies used to do, where you had a certain limit on your data, and if you went over, it was like $10 for every 50 gigs over you went.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not how my phone works, right? Like if I go over.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need something like that, but you can't also have something that like sticker shocks you, right? Like you shouldn't expect an extra $1 million bill because one person was too happy with Rovo. They were just ordering pizza all day. Although if if you can have like the the ordering of Domino's just get added to your Atlassian bill.
There you go.
You're good.
You're set.
Your org admin at the end of the month. Why do we have $50,000 worth of pizza on our Atlassian bill?
Then it'll be the Atlassian everything bill.
It's everywhere. It knows everything.
It's everything. I
love how we keep going back to the pizza thing.
I love pizza.
I'm like craving pizza now. I don't know about you guys. I'm like starving, and I really.
My wife's been on my other screen in text trying to figure out pizza order for us. So that's not been helping.
Ask Rovo what your most common pizza order is, and then you've trended pepperoni with sausage and mushroom. That's a safe bet.
Jensen, at what point does Rovo become a personal assistant though for non-work related functions?
Oh, for non-work related.
Yeah, like Rodney and I, we use Jira to kind of plan our packing for Barcelona, right? And so at what point does business projects are a good template that I like to use for it's like my Trello inside of Jira, right?
Mhm.
Like, is it gonna be cool enough to say, hey, you should probably consider packing this or packing that?
Yeah, I mean,
And more
it can.
personalized things. Since it's gonna be
It
everywhere, right? It knows everything on your phone.
Yeah, I think
It-
it depends on what data you give it access to, right? So
Well,
the
if it
LLM
has
in
access to your
general, like,
calendar, but if it has access to your calendar and you're going to go on vacation, like,
yeah,
I would imagine that at one point in the future, an end user will expect that convenience to blur the lines between personal and work and pleasure,
yeah.
or
Like
pleasure and business.
I use my business calendar for personal things, right? Like I don't ever open my personal calendar, or else I'd never see it, and I'd miss every meeting that I ever put on my
Right.
personal calendar.
Right.
So yeah, and I think it depends, but it doesn't have access to like my personal email, so it doesn't have that, and I don't think I want it to. You know,
But
I
it
think
might
there's
at
like
one point, right?
it might,
But
but I don't know if I would like configure that personally, right?
but
But
that's
maybe
part
I
of
would.
everywhere. It knows everything. Like some people
Yeah.
might want to opt in.
I think if we had like an incognito, like more, I guess, yeah, we do have it is incognito. So yeah, I think it depends. The I would like it for that in ways. Like we want to create more of a customized version of chat, so you can say, like right now it has memory and everything, but you kind of want to maybe you could have like personal mode and like business mode. And so if you go personal mode, it's because I don't necessarily like if I'm in business mode, I don't want it to pull my personal information because I don't want that to
Yeah.
like.
This sounds like you have the you have Dia as your work browser, Dia in communicating with Rovo or further enabled by Rovo, and then you keep Google Chrome or Firefox or Safari or Edge as your kind of personal browser, and
Yeah.
you know.
Since we only have a couple minutes, I think this question is more appropriate for MCB, but
You know.
yeah. Well, I want your opinion. Sam Altman was asked about from Gippity's perspective, right? A lot of people use it as a psychologist, and there's like suicide and all these bad things in the world, and Gippity makes or doesn't make recommendations, not to go to that extreme, but workplace violence, workplace sabotage, professional levels of bad things can happen. What are y'all doing with Rovo to either mitigate that, avoid it, talk about it?
Yeah.
Not talk about it.
No, it's a great question, and
Can
it
I
goes back.
sabotage my company with Robo? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Rovo, how would you make it so that Alex really, really looks like a goof off?
Delete all databases.
Well, so we do have a team that's basically around acceptable use, right? And that's a big thing. And they work a lot with our trust and our privacy teams, and like our responsible AI. So we have a lot of people thinking about this. We have a lot of filters in place. So like you can't ask it to speak as someone else. You can't ask it to do certain things. You can't ask it for certain types of advice. So you can't go in and be like, hey, I need some personal legal advice. Like, what should I do about this? Or I'm getting
Unlike
a divorce.
Gippy, where you can.
Yeah. And so we limit it because we don't want to give advice that we haven't like vetted, right? Like you shouldn't be giving legal advice. You shouldn't be giving like therapy advice or any of these things. And so we do block it and we say, okay, we can't respond to that. But we do, I mean, there's a lot farther we could go with it. And so we have a whole team thinking about it and working on it because we do hit false positives a lot, right? And so sometimes it does break people's workflows. And so there's ways
I
that
can also imagine the inverse, right? Where Rovo hallucinates and tells you, oh, well, this is something your team should go do. And it costs your company $1 billion in a mistake.
Yeah. Well,
like corporate responsibility is probably a big topic too.
Yeah, responsibility. And I think humans need to keep responsibility for what AI gives them too. Like we need to change that. And I know that's a hard thing to say, but like, have you guys seen that movie? What's the movie that came out? It was really bad, but it was about AI and it was like Steve Carell. And did you see it? Do you know what I'm talking about? And they like live in the mountains and these like really rich billionaires and they built an AI that looks like real life and the whole world crashes and fails because they like augment these wars around the world.
Do they play different movies in New Zealand than in the US?
No, it was
maybe. I mean, I should set my VPN to New Zealand and see what. I think I saw something like that on Netflix.
I thought Steve Carell was in like the Space Force movie.
Oh, that was a TV show on Netflix.
Mountainhead. It's called Mountainhead.
Okay,
Mountainhead.
that's going in my
Mountainhead.
Netflix queue.
HBO film about billionaires.
Chris Rogers is
He's got it.
thinking it's Mountainhead. So
Mountainhead. It was a pretty bad movie, but like it did kind of make you think. It's like shit, scary world out there. If this goes too far with everything.
Yeah, Lena, our executive producer, went immediately to her. So she doesn't want Alex falling in love with an AI.
I've been meaning to rewatch her lately. I haven't seen it in like 10 years, and I feel like it'll hit differently.
I know. I think it definitely will hit differently. My favorite scene is from Silicon Valley, where they have their AI order food for the whole company, and its algorithm was optimized for like, I don't know if you've seen this particular episode. Have you ever seen Silicon Valley?
Yeah. But I don't remember this episode.
There's a scene where they ask for food to be delivered to efficiently and most cost effectively for the whole company, and like a pallet of like just frozen patties shows up because it was the most cost effective thing. So I can imagine Rovo like doing. This will be one
of our like test cases for our Domino's use case. To, like make sure we
you
don't
just get a bunch of raw dough.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good test case.
Well, Jensen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here, and good morning to you.
Thank you. Well, it's noon now. It's 12:01.
Is it noon now?
So
okay.
All right. Good afternoon, then.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I'm always worried when we talk to people on the other side of the world because time zones are hard for me.
Well, it's good. New Zealand is the best time zone to work in at Atlassian because I'm 2 hours from Australia and 3 hours plus a day from California. It's like right in the middle.
There you go. The plus day.
Oh, there you go.
Because you are in the future, right? It's like tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Almost. She's closer to the weekend than we are.
I'm closer to like Christmas. I'm closer to 2026 than you are.
Yeah.
There
You're closer to Anu's Anu's last days.
Don't make me cry.
Yeah, let's not go down that route. All right, Jensen, again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Always a blast. You look a lot more well relaxed than we did at team. To our defense, we talked the last minute of the last second on the last
on hold with Agentia, like sitting on the floor.
As we're getting kicked out of the expo.
As I'm trying to finish the last interview we have to record.
Well, we all made it home, so that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Sign us off, Rodney.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thanks for watching. And as we say, we didn't choose the Jira Life. Jira Life chose us.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, Rodney, the Jira guy Nissen, and Sarah, #IBelieveSarah, Wright. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lena Ortiz. You can catch us as we record this podcast live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and the other Jiramigos of the Peanut Gallery each week to ask questions, add your comments, and tell us what you're up to. If you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. You can also find us as a podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you think this podcast deserves a rating, it would be much appreciated as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.